What's up, chat? Bro, I'm so sad I'll be at a wedding for most of the open beta. Yeah, just don't go. It's your own wedding. Get cold feet. For those living under a rock, aka those of us that don't use Twitter, aka the lucky ones amongst us, it's official. The Street Fighter 6 open beta is real. It's really real. You've all been asking, play the open beta for Street Fighter 6 from May 19th through 21st. Experience the content from closed beta test number 2, including 8 characters and various ways to play online. And they dropped this complete with a pretty nifty little graphical trailer here to talk about this open beta, which I'll play here in the background. It looks pretty good. It's a good trailer. They're really hyping this up. Open beta, May 19th through May 21st, which is, just about a week and a half away from today. And it's 2 weeks before the Street Fighter 6 release date. So you have 1 weekend, 2 weeks before June 2nd, which is when Street Fighter 6 is slated to actually officially release, where you can hop on for 3 full days and play 8 characters and all the content from the previous closed betas. But now it's just open to the public. So yeah, I didn't believe this was going to happen. Let me explain myself. Listen, we all know that things have not gone well for Capcom with the betas. After the first beta, it was instantly cracked. And people were very bold in their open reveal that they're playing the cracked beta, right? And obviously this caused a lot of controversy. People were not happy about this. Capcom was not happy about this. And then finally, Capcom Fighters came out and made this statement. It has come to our attention that some users have been accessing the Street Fighter 6 closed beta test, the CBT software, and playing the game outside of the designated period. From this point forward, any player who is shown with clear evidence to be accessing the CBT in an unauthorized way may be deemed ineligible for the upcoming Capcom Pro Tour and Street Fighter League seasons. Basically, this is amnesty for people who are openly posting about playing the crack, because I saw combo videos, I saw people showing off tech left and right, showing off full matches. There were some people streaming parsec matches of the crack on Twitch in the Street Fighter 6 streaming section. So a lot of people were kind of just out in the open with it. Not really notable players. I think anyone notable were aware of the risks of showing off these activities, even when Capcom was silent about it. But they said here, from this point forward. So basically, if you had, revealed that you were playing the crack before this point, you're in the clear. It's only from this point forward, as of April 28th, could you not be playing the crack. So they basically said no one's going to get punished, right? But this kind of set the tone that there might not be a beta, because Capcom might be concerned about having a crack release, and if they revealed more content, then more of their content would get leaked, and it would lead to more concerns about fairness. A lot of people were complaining about fairness. People were first upset that the betas were closed, right? So obviously you entered a lottery, you didn't get in, you're going to be tight about it. And then of course all the influencers make it in, because on top of having the lottery system, of course they're going to reserve access keys to the beta for influencers, because let's face it, it's marketing for the game as well. It's not just technically testing the game and their servers. They want to create buzz and hype around the launch as well. Then the second beta comes around, and then once again you get unlucky and you don't get selected for the closed beta. People are getting salty, and then there's the crack going on, so people have access to the game, and then everyone who's playing by the rules still has not touched the game at all. Maybe they weren't able to make it out to any of the closed location tests. Then the influencers once again get to have 1 or 2 full hours with the full build of the game, and now people are assuming that Maximilian's going to win Evo because he was able to play with the full cast for 2 hours straight. There was a lot of disgruntled fans, I would say, up till this point, who were upset that they haven't been able to play the game when it feels like the entire planet, everyone and their mother, has been able to get a lot of time in with Street Fighter 6. The demo that released was kind of the concession for that already, because they released basically an offline version of Versus Mode, but with only Ryu and Luke, which is not that fun because it's only the 2 driest characters in the game. But this is basically their concession. I really did not think that this beta was going to happen, because I went to Capcom Cup this year, and after Capcom Cup concluded, there was a bar going, people were having some drinks. I got to meet up with Matsumoto Nakayama. I got to ask him a few questions, And I didn't say it at the time, but one of the questions asked, how likely is an open beta? And we got the answer, not likely. It wasn't looking good. I didn't make any comments about that. I took that conversation as something that was confidential, under wraps. And well, looks like I'm wrong, right? We have the open beta coming. However, if you're paying attention, experience the content from closed beta test number 2. And the characters they showed were the characters from the first and second beta, the ones that are featured in the crack if you're, nefarious enough to go and dabble in illegal Street Fighter activities. Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Luke, Guile, Juri, Kimberly, and Jamie. So no new characters. It's clear to me that beyond just wanting to reserve content for the final release and make sure it's unique and special for people who actually are going to buy the product and have something new to look forward to, I think they want to avoid another crack situation where people get an essentially full copy of the game early. So it's nothing new for people who were either playing the betas, playing the on-location test builds, or who have been grinding the crack, right? It's nothing new. So that's a little disappointing for someone like me who has played both betas, and I got to play at EVO, I got to play at Capcom Cup. I had a decent amount of time with this build of the game, and I'm looking forward to trying new characters. I'm still excited to play, of course. And of course, if you've been playing the crack, I guess you're just gonna hop on for 3 days and just flex on everybody. So we'll see how that goes. But I think this is good for people who are really disappointed and left out. What I'm curious about here is the phrasing they have here. You've all been asking. Now, remember, an online beta, like the purpose of the online beta, beyond just making people happy and excited to play the game, it's to technically test the online functionality, the servers, and make sure it's ready to handle a large online population. So they're collecting data, they're running tests, they're trying to ensure that on launch day, they can, as much as possible, be ready for, the floodgates to open and for their servers to hold up and for them to not crash and lead to a really bad first day experience. It's like that's actually the goal. So I'm curious if they were concerned about actually testing the online functionality, and then they just saw this on the marketing side as a quick win. You've all been asking. We've been out here listening to your concerns. We know what the people want. Open beta. Or if the engineers in the back were like, look, listen, I know the crack happened, but we need to run these tests because June 2nd's around the corner. And I need this launch to go smooth. So I'm kind of wondering what was like the primary motivation here. Like it's disingenuous to and imply that betas aren't consciously used by developers to generate buzz and hype. They definitely are. But I kind of wonder what came first in this situation. I was a bit worried that they wouldn't do another proper stress test before launch. Yeah, I don't have the numbers. I don't know if anyone has the data on how many people were in the second closed beta test. It's going to be orders of magnitude more people. I'm also curious if there's going to be any actual performance concerns. There were some moments in the first beta. I don't remember any in the second. But I think in the first day of the first beta, there were definitely times where the servers were down, where you couldn't log in. The stress on the servers is going to be so much higher now. So there could definitely be issues. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. Who knows, you might spend half the beta just trying to log in. Hopefully not. I just hope launch isn't delayed. If there's issues, I'd rather sit in a 30-minute queue than a delayed launch. I don't think there's any stopping this launch. I think this is far too close to the release date. There's physical copies of Street Fighter 6 in the wild. The final build is done. The game is going to come out. Can we talk about the elephant in the room? How is PS4 not a part of these beta tests? Is that really an elephant? Listen, PlayStation 4, I feel like I sound like an elitist asshole, but it's been a decade. Put it out of its misery. Please take it outside and put it down.